Welcome back. You're watching the Daily Rundown with me, Fiona Fox. I have Stephen Armstrong and Andrew Greaves helping with the news today. Now, parents of a child who fell into a gorilla enclosure will not be charged. The world was outraged when Harambe the gorilla was shot dead last week to protect a little boy who fell into his enclosure at Cincinnati Zoo. Prosecutors said that the mother was not to blame for the incident. He explained that the child had scampered off while the mother had been looking after 3 other children. She did not act in any way where she presented the child to some harm. Regardless of this, she's still facing torrents of online abuse, with a petition calling for her to be held accountable for the gorilla's death, reaching 500,000 signatures. Wow. There's kind of mixed more than two ways even reaction to all of this, wasn't it? Even people who support animals, I think, were sort of going, you know, there was lots of other things that happened last week that didn't get as much attention. For example, why was there such a big furore over this gorilla? And it's still going on. That's an end to it. Do you think that this is the right decision, Andrew? Or
I just think it's a bit of a strange story. I mean, I don't know why you have to take the gorilla out. I think it's just kind of...
Take sniper style?
Yeah, kind of just sedate the gorilla, surely. I mean...
We kind of went through this last, because I think it was you, Stephen, who was in that day actually. And I mean, all the experts have said that basically to sedate him, to tranquilise him, would have taken, it's obviously a large animal, would have taken a long time, and in that time he would have become agitated or realised he was feeling all high and potentially hurt the child.
Because he didn't look to it. I mean, they've kind of analysed his movements now, and he's holding the kid's hand and he's trying to protect the kid, and it is, you know, I mean, you do wonder how these kids can climb into these enclosures. I mean, I remember kind of going to Blackpool Zoo, and you know, even the most adventurous kid from my school would really struggle to get into these enclosures. But I guess they're the ones that are on the level, you know, the orangutans, the gorillas are on the level, whereas these in America, they seem to be almost in like a pit, don't they? So, and the fence is maybe as high as the backboard that we've got here. So a kid can scamper off, if that's a term being used, over and drop into it. You know, the parents being to blame, you know, she was looking after 3 other kids, I think, as well. It's a difficult one, you know. Zoos are them kind of place. I mean, you know, I remember me and my sister wandering off and things like that. And
that's a good point. It's such an overstimulating place for a child as well. I think that. But I actually, my first reaction was, you know, I was angry on the death of the gorilla. But I did speak to a friend who has 2, you know, kind of a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, 5 and 3, whatever. And he said, you can be the best parents in the world, and you think, my point was, surely the whole point of the zoo is all your attention is on the child. Look at the gorilla, isn't he big, isn't he amazing? How could they run away? But I said this to my friend, he goes, yeah. And then he gets bored of the gorilla and he runs onto the hippopotamus, and you're struggling, you know, with the pram of the other child, or you're trying to, have we got everybody before we move? But he's run on. It's going to happen, isn't it? So who do you think is accountable? Should anyone be accountable, or is this a very tragic accident?
I mean, it is a tragic accident. Some people would suggest that it's a reason that we shouldn't have zoos. You know, I mean, why would we, you know, cage the animals? It's difficult. I don't, as I said when I was last on, I don't own a child or a gorilla, so I don't really have an expertise on this. See, it's easy for me because I can look at it and I can say it's a tragic accident.
We all can, though, can't we? Is everybody a bit too judgmental with this case, do you think, from both sides?
I think it always blows up, doesn't it, when animals are involved?
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, do we need zoos? You know, I like a zoo, don't get me wrong, but I can understand that kind of, you know, your friend's point of view. We just have to have all children on reins. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
You'd think that zoos are quite a safe place, but, you know, the animals are behind glass, behind bars. You know, kids, you know, I used to hate certain parts of Blackpool Zoo because it was dull, but, you know, you want to go see the elephants.
You know it off by heart, don't you? And
yeah,
you
want to go to see the lions.
This part.
You know, you want to miss the kind of the butterfly house because it's a bit dull. You know, they're the kind of things, but you would be running, you know, but, you know, your sibling might want to go and see it something else, and suddenly a parent's got one dragging that way, one dragging that way.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It is difficult to keep a check on kids in supermarkets, let alone in a zoo where there is that kind of visual stimulation.
Yeah. So... with this, would you hold anyone accountable? Is that it? Should a line just be drawn on it? Because I think the next step now is. So I kind of personally think that the zoo should have to answer.
I think the zoo has questions to answer. You know, in terms of, you know, they build this wall to stop people from getting in. You know, it's time to have a rethink about your safety measures.
Because people can get in.
I think, you know, a child can get in. You know, you get adults getting into lion cages and things like that, and you know, adult safe maybe not, but child safe or child proof. I think they should be. And you know, I mean, the gorilla will end up getting a statue. outside the zoo. Everyone will be happy, and we'll move on to the next American dentist shooting some animal in the wild, and then we can be outraged again.
Yeah,
We're a world that loves to be outraged about something, aren't we?
We do. We like an outrage.
We like a good outrage.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for that, guys. Let's go to our last news story of the day. Hillary Clinton has become the Democratic Party's presumptive nominee for the 2016 presidential race, an AP tally suggests. The count puts her on 2,383, the number needed to make her the nominee. Mrs. Clinton will become the first female nominee for a major US political party. Race rival Bernie Sanders said that she had not won, as she depends on superdelegates who cannot vote until the party convention in July. I know you're dying to get stuck into this, Andrew, aren't you? Favourite topic?
Yeah, I think it's fabulous. I think it's really good news. I think
So you're a Hillary fan, are you?
I find her a bit dull. I'll be honest. I find her a bit too. We talk about media savvy.
Yes.
Mark Ashley's not. I think she's a little bit too establishment, but she's the person who Donald Trump will be scared of most. Bernie Sanders, he's not even a Democrat, he's an independent who's standing on a Democratic ticket. Again, he's been the kind of the Corbyn effect. He's rallied the young people. It's been fantastic. Feel the burn stickers and all this kind of thing, which is a kind of a weird kind of badge to have there. But I think Hillary Clinton coming so soon after America's first black president, I think having a female president sends a massive message, really, to a country that's been lagging behind for quite a long time. I think Obama's the 43rd president. The 42 previous have all been white and male.
White males.
I just think it's fabulous. I think it's something that should really kind of be celebrated, not just because she's a woman, but because she's somebody who will take on this Trump phenomenon that is sweeping
phenomenon
Britain.
is the word, isn't it? But it seems kind of like people have lost. It's sad. I think even she's lost the support of a lot of women as well for some reason. She's not as appealing as becoming the first female president. I don't know, why do you think that is? She's had to. I mean, she's been first lady. She's been a senator. Is she? Do we want someone more fresh, or it should be me answering it? Maybe, I don't know, but I can't.
I find it incredibly entertaining that a country like America, who has fought so vehemently to get rid of dynasty and heritage, and they're going to vote in another Clinton after voting in another Bush. I really hope, my only hope is that Donald Trump is doing this as a joke, and that he's just doing it to present the presidency to Hillary Clinton, because Donald Trump is we don't have enough time for that.
Do you think so? Yeah.
I think he is quite possibly. I think he is the very realization of what happens if you don't teach your child that they can't have everything, that they're not special, that they're one of millions of others. And I just think that finally we've got to this. It seems, if we were talking before about the European referendum, seeming like it's taken so long, this seems like it started the moment they re-elected Obama and will not stop until we have I don't know if you've seen, there's a film called Idiocracy, where Terry Crews plays a president who is just hyperbole writ large. Donald Trump might be that. It seems that Hillary has found the way of getting to him, because she's called him just Donald. She doesn't refer to him as Mr. Trump. She just calls him Donald, and that seems to have really riled him. Donald Trump seems to have some issues with women, with people of other faiths, with his own hairstyle. He has a great deal of struggles, and I think that Bernie Sanders has shown this way. There may be a possibility that Bernie could stand as an independent. That might split the vote. The only thing that worries me more about Donald Trump being elected president is Donald Trump gets elected president and he does a good job. That is the one thing that just makes me just shudder.
That would be the biggest troll in the history of trolling since it's been. Wouldn't it?
I can't believe we're in a situation where a major political party would even think about having Donald Trump as their nominee, and it comes down to the fact that that field was so big for so long. There was nobody that the rest of the Republican Party could get behind. Everyone hung on.
Yeah.
John Kasich hung on far too long. Jeb Bush hung on a little bit too long. Rubio hung on for too long. They couldn't actually galvanise behind anybody, and it's this whole splitting the vote thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I don't think Bernie Sanders will stand as a third-party candidate. I think he's already said he's not in it to kind of wreck a nomination. I think if I was him, I'd be stepping out now. You know, the voting today, of course, the big votes today. I know Clinton and Sanders have both been quite annoyed that this AP survey has come out. I think if she becomes the presumptive nominee with actual delegates, not taking into consideration this huge lead she's got in super delegates, I think the best thing for him to be would be to get himself a day at the convention, you know, and say, look, I'm happy to concede as long as I can have that platform at the convention in Philadelphia, and really kind of almost then pull her which way that he wants. And that's the one thing that he has been able to do. He's been able to drag her perhaps a little bit to the left. Yeah. But again, some of his ideas that he was coming up with, kind of free at source health service like we've got in this country, some of the other ideas he's got they're just not costed. They're just not sensible ideas for a federal nation as big as the United States.
So he's kind of he's a bit as an idea. Is a bit better as an idea than the
as an idea and dragging, you know, almost dictating the Democratic policy, which I think will be good for Hillary Clinton because it will drag her closer to, you know, perhaps the American working class, which I think people do have a problem with. You know, when she's taking £250,000 from institutions for talks.
That's the whole
and I think
story, isn't it?
Bernie is an intelligent man, and I think, like you say, he will do that, and he seems to be a good man at the interest of the people at heart, and that's what I think a leader should have.
Yeah. Lovely. Thanks very much for that, guys. We're going for a quick break now, and when we come back, we're going to have music from The Statements. Don't miss that.